Ukraine presently has the most mines. Safety will take decades. Landmines, unexploded bombs, artillery shells, and other toxic war trash have contaminated an area of Ukraine the size of Florida or Uruguay. War has raged here for a year and a half. It is now the most mined nation. Ordnance experts say turning Ukraine's core into unsafe wastelands is a long-term tragedy on a scale never seen before. Fixing it could take centuries and billions of dollars. Clearing unexploded ordnance and assessing the problem are limited by the war. However, Ukraine's government and private humanitarian organizations that clear mines report a different scenario. Ukraine has the most weapons in 30 years, the Mines Advisory Group's Greg Crowther commented. There's nothing like it. Massive scale. Globsec, a Slovakian research tank, reports that 30% of Ukraine, or more than 67,000 square miles, has been impacted by major fighting and will require time-consuming, expensive, and unsafe cleanup. Surveys are impossible while warfare continues. Ukraine's poisoning is worse than Afghanistan's and Syria's due to its mine size and number. The multinational landmine clearance organization Halo Trust has recorded over 2,300 instances in Ukraine where something needed to be cleared using open-source data. Even if incidences aren't recorded nearly enough and the data doesn't include Halo Trust or other ground surveys, it paints a scary picture of the problem. This week, the Ukrainian army used U.S. cluster bombs, which distribute bomblets that don't explode, worsening the situation. Human cost. Bombs have damaged much. 298 civilians, including 22 children, were killed and 632 injured by explosive war debris during Russia's full-scale assault from February 2022 to July 2020. Freed lands are demined by civilians. They wear safety gear and are well-trained. They can still have tragic accidents. Vladislav Sokolov, a Ukrainian emergency service deminer, told the Washington Post that a buddy lost a leg in a Kramatorsk minefield in 2022. After Sokolov obtained a prosthetic, he and his companion met at a bomb disposal conference. Ukrainian military doctor Dmytro Myalkovsky has treated mine injuries since the battle. He had to help a dying mine blast victim in Zaporizhia in Ukraine. Myalkovsky added, "I realized this leg was killing him and that there was also a tourniquet on another leg. I had to cut off both legs swiftly, 10 minutes, he said. I still don't know if he'll live or die." Secret killers. Each side mines. For Ukraine's counteroffensive, Russia mined its front lines. Although forbidden, it has utilized anti-personnel mines more. Small, lethal anti-personnel mines are activated by a person's weight, regardless of their military status. Human Rights Watch discovered that Russian troops employed at least 13 types of anti-personnel mines and booby traps that activate when stepped on. In summer 2022, Ukraine used rocket-delivered PFM burst mines around Izium. Internationally, anti-tank mines are not forbidden. The 1997 Mine Ban Treaty classifies any explosive device that a civilian could mistakenly detonate as an anti-personnel mine. Ukraine is a signatory, but not Russia or the US. Russian and Ukrainian military have mined vehicles. The US gave Ukraine two types of mines. The Remote Anti-Armor Mine System, which uses 155mm artillery rounds to create temporary minefields that self-destruct, and M21 anti-tank mines, which require hundreds of pounds of force to go off but don't destroy themselves, making them difficult to remove. Mines are just one dangerous weapon. If they don't explode, mortars, bombs, artillery shells, cluster bombs, and other weapons are harmful. Fixing things. Russia's highly mined defenses, built up during months of standstill on the front lines, are hampering the Ukrainian counteroffensive that started last month and crippling West-provided battle tanks and infantry fighting vehicles. Even though there are mine-clearing vehicles, sappers have had to manually clear routes. Humanitarian clearing, which returns land to local people after a conflict, is laborious, tedious, and expensive. They are happening in Kyiv and other areas west of the front lines where fighting has stopped. For humanitarian considerations, the 500 demining personnel in the current operation would need 757 years to remove the mine-polluted territory in Ukraine. Metal detectors and explosive sniffing dogs help demining teams crawl inch by inch. They dig up every signal, unaware of its nature. Globsec estimates one deminer can remove 49 to 82 square feet per day. depending on topography and explosives. Spring clearing is limited by the ground thawing and farms planting. The early June Kakhovka Dam burst hampered cleaning efforts. In contaminated locations like Kherson, farmers had to use armored tractors and visual checks to sow this year's harvest. Dark deminers, who don't have formal licensing, clear some of the more than 19,000 square miles of land that can't be farmed. They're in demand. Demining is slow and expensive. The World Bank estimates that clearing Ukraine of mines will cost $374 billion over 10 years, or $2 to $8 per square meter. In 2023, the U.S. State Department reported giving Ukraine around $95 million to eliminate mines. Ukraine compare. Mines recall battles from Cambodia to Kosovo. They demonstrate Ukraine's rebuilding challenge. Cambodia has millions of landmines to clean after decades of fighting. 30 years. Crowther expects 5 more years of effort. Cambodian mines injured tens of thousands. Kosovo fought in 1998 and 1999. Crowther stated of the Ukraine War, Kosovo was a 6-month war that was only a small part of this one. It's taken a long time. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell to help the channel to grow.